Let me warn you, big boss. If you are thinking about buying an old Golf, check the floor before you buy it, because in the last episode we completely stripped the interior of this car. Seats out, carpet out, panels out, and we disconnected pretty much everything needed to get the engine out. But there was one thing we couldn't really see before, and that's what underneath the floor. And that's where things started getting interesting, because the Golf might be one of Volkswagen's most legendary cars. So built in the 80s, loved by millions, and still one of the most popular platforms for modifying and restoring today. But after all these years, Rust doesn't care how legendary the car is. So today, we are stripping this floor right down to the metal to see exactly what we are dealing with. And judging by what I've already started finding out, this restoration might be a lot more serious than I thought. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it.
Okay guys, so this is how far we are. So we're just here on this center console, but we have a very massive problem, bro. We worked so hard, the hammer left the chair. Literally, bro, I've never seen nothing like this before, bro. The hammer left the chair. The hammer said, Kev, fuck it, bro, I'm done. You gotta get a new hammer now. Yeah, I understand, Mr. Hammer, this was a lot, bro. Yeah, it's a lot, dude. Damn. Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's Kev again with another Project Mk2 episode. So welcome to the fourth episode of the Project Mk2. By now you probably know we have a new project. If you haven't watched the last episodes, make sure you go catch up so that we are on the same page, right? So yeah, bro, this is the fourth episode. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep track of this episode, because we're gonna drop 10 episodes, bro. Like, it's gonna be a lot of episodes on this car, but so far, yeah, I'm still keeping track, bro. This is the fourth episode, and this is where we ended on the last episode. So we've been scraping the floor, and then rust was revealing under it. So we just did this portion here, that portion there, and that one over there. So we just left with this side here. So this is what you're gonna do. So we're gonna scrape this side here, the driver's side, and then hoover the whole car, and then we're gonna get a direction of what we're gonna do next. And another thing is, the engine is still here, bro. The engine is also still here, still inside the car. We haven't pulled it out yet because I haven't got someone, but I'm not rushing it like that. So yeah, bro, we're gonna see this after. For now, let's finish up on the interior, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series of this build. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and watch till the end. So without any further ado, let's get to work, bro. I don't have a choice but like to get happy when it's harder to remove this thingy, because if it's easy like this here, just know there's rust under it. So I know it's a lot to do, but I'm actually happy when it's actually like hard to remove, because I know the body is fine there. But once it's coming off easy like that, just know baba ish under there is charged. If you are thinking about buying a project car, there's something I really wish somebody had told me before I bought this Golf, because from the outside this looked like a Golf that just needed some work. But once I started stripping it down, I realized I had absolutely no idea what I was getting myself into. And today I am finally finishing up the job of stripping this floor, and honestly I'm kind of nervous about what we are going to find out, because there's still a lot covering this floor, and I don't want to make any decisions about this car based on what I think is underneath it. I want to actually see it. I want to know exactly what I'm working with, and by the end of this video we are going to find out
just how bad this Golf really is. And if you're thinking about buying a project car yourself, hopefully this video gives you an idea of what you should be looking out for before you spend your money. So if you've been following this build, you already know where we're at. So I've basically stripped the entire interior out. The seats are gone, the carpets are gone, and pretty much everything that doesn't need to be here anymore is out. I've also been disconnecting everything that's connected to the engine because eventually we are going to get that out as well. But before we get anywhere near putting this car back together, I need to know exactly what I'm working with, because right now this floor is basically hiding the truth, and that's what we are going to find out today. How bad is this Golf really underneath? We don't need a beach to get a half naked life. I think the biggest problem when it comes to buying a project car is the problem you can't see. You see a car that looks decent and immediately your mind starts imagining what it's going to look like when it's finished. You start thinking about the wheels, the stands, the paint, the interior, the engine, everything you're going to do to it, but you don't always think about what's hiding underneath. And that's exactly what I'm starting to learn with this Golf. When I first got the car, obviously I knew it wasn't perfect. I knew I was buying a project, but there's a difference between knowing a car needs work and actually seeing how much work it actually needs. And I'm starting to understand that now, because every time I remove another layer, I'm basically getting another piece of information about this car, and that's why I'm taking my time with this. I don't just want to cover everything up and make the car look good. I want to know what's actually underneath, because what's the point of building a beautiful car if there's a serious problem hiding underneath it?
Okay guys, so yeah bro, this is how far we are. So we're just here on this center console, but we have a very massive problem, bro. We worked so hard, the hammer left the chair. Literally, bro, I've never seen nothing like this before, bro. The hammer left the chair. The hammer said, Kev, fuck it, bro, I'm done. And you gotta get a new hammer now. Yeah, I understand, Mr. Hammer, this was a lot, bro. Yeah, it's a lot, digga. Damn. Okay guys, so we're done scraping most of this thing here on the floor. So now I'm just trying to like hoover it and then do the final scraping and all that stuff. So let's hoover it quickly and see what we left with, and then we're gonna move on to the next step, which I think is welding. Yeah, before we can actually work on the body. So first thing after we done hoovering, I think the next step we're gonna have to find someone to weld the interior for us. So yeah, let's hoover it quickly and we'll see what we do next. And the damage is pretty bad. I don't know if it's, how bad is it from 1 to 10. I don't know how bad is it, but to me, bro, this looks insane, gang. This is ish. Especially here on the driver's side, bro. Like up there, my nigga. Yeah, bro, that is very bad. That is very bad. But let's hope we're gonna get it right, bro. Let's hope we're gonna get it right.
At first, you might look at some of this rust and think it's just a little bit of rust, and maybe it is, but that's the problem. You don't always know whether what you're looking at is the actual problem or just the beginning of the problem, and that's something I think people really need to understand when they are buying project cars. Don't fall in love with the car before you inspect it, because that's something I think it's very easy to do. You see an old Golf sitting there, you imagine what it could become, and suddenly you are emotionally attached to it before you've even handed over the money. And once you've bought it, it is very easy to start making excuses for the problems. I'll fix that, I'll sort that out. That doesn't look too bad, until eventually you realize you've got a much bigger project than you originally planned for. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what's happening with this Golf, but I'm definitely starting to understand how quickly it can happen.
Keep going, yeah. Can't do flexing cause they know I got the sauce. Got the presence on me, I can't ever take it off. That's why I came country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping.
And if you're watching this because you're thinking about buying a project car, there's something I'd definitely recommend. Don't just walk around the car and look at the paint. Get underneath it. Look at the floor, look at the chassis, look around the wheel arches, look for signs of previous repairs, look for rust. And if you don't know what you're looking at least take somebody with you who does, because spending a little bit of money getting a car properly inspected could save you a lot more money later. And I know that's probably something that sounds obvious, but when you're excited about a car, it's very easy to ignore things. You start telling yourself that you're going to fix everything anyway, and that's true, but there's massive difference between fixing a few things and rebuilding half the car, and that's something I'm learning with this Golf.
Back there, so we're done moving the interior. So now we're gonna move inside the door panel. So let's do that quickly, and we'll see what we do after.
And I think the bigger question now is this Golf worth saving? Because the more I strip it, the more I understand what I actually bought. And honestly, I think that's probably one of the most important parts of this entire build. Before I can restore this car, I need to understand it. I need to know where the problems are. I need to know what can be repaired. I need to know what needs replacing, and most importantly, I need to know whether this car is actually worth saving. And that's the question that's been sitting in the back of my mind throughout this whole process. Is this Golf actually worth it? Because right now I don't have the answer. I know there's rust, I know there's work, and I know this isn't going to be a quick project, but I also don't think this car is beyond saving. Not yet anyway.
To be the judge, darling. He never changed his way for me to budge, darling. It's feeling like a cold dog winning, the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave, yeah. It's feeling like a cold dog winning, the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave.
There was still a little bit of petrol. A lot, bro. Damn. I think this was the reason for the car not starting. It looks solid. Still looks real, bro.
Still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like a sun. Through the cold dark winter, it's feeling like a cold dark winter.
And honestly, if there's one thing I want you to take from this video, it's this. Whether you're buying a project car, don't just buy the dream, buy the reality, because the dream is easy. You can look at the car like this and imagine exactly how you want it to look when it's finished. You can imagine the wheels, you can imagine the stands, you can imagine the interior, you can imagine driving it around when it's finally done. But you also have to be willing to look at the rusty floor, the broken parts, the old repairs and all the problems, and ask yourself, am I actually prepared to deal with this? Because that's what a project car really is. It's not just building the car, it's everything that happens between the car you bought and the car you dreamed about. And right now I'm somewhere in the middle of that